Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'll be taking a look at this RhinoShield Crashguard bumper case for the iPhone 6 and 6S. As you can see here, it's just a pretty simple bumper case. However, unlike most bumper cases, it actually comes like a kind of back screen protector, which we'll get into, which kind of eliminates my main problem with using bumper cases. So this is just the packaging that it comes in. It is very, very nice packaging. It's kind of funny how complicated the packaging is in comparison to the bumper case. Not complicated in a bad way, it's just very, very nice packaging. Like, it has like this full drawer system and all of that. So it's very, very nice packaging. On the back here, it just has some of the kind of features of it. It says exceeds military drop tests, easy to grip material, reinforced corners, it's lightweight, it's a slim profile, and it is recyclable. So I don't know if it's talking about the packaging or the case, probably the case. So if you are wanting to recycle your case anytime soon, you could do that. It does include a clear protective film, as I mentioned earlier. So to go ahead and put the bumper case on the phone, it's pretty simple, as you may or may not have expected. So you just kind of set one corner in like this, and the case just kind of snaps on around the remaining corners ideally. So just kind of like that. Well, I just said it was simple, but I'm struggling a little bit. There you go. So kind of have it on. There we go. So pretty simple to put on. It definitely doesn't require any instructions or anything like that. I guess there are instructions to say how to put the case on, but you really don't need any, in my opinion. So as you can see here, I do have a glass screen protector on the front here. That is not what comes in the box, but what comes in the box here is this kind of clear film. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but kind of around here, let's try to zoom in. You can probably see from like the dirt or something like that that's caught in it. But as you can see, like around here, I have a little clear protective film, which is definitely helping to protect the back of my phone. I've actually had this case on for a very long time now. I mean, not that long, since I only got the case like 2 weeks ago, but I have actually gotten rid of the Urban Armor Gear case that I've had on my phone, and I've had that on my phone for like 3 years, and I took that case off of my phone to put on this case, and I honestly haven't taken it off since. So that is a good thing, because I've been using Urban Armor cases for a very long time, and it's cool that I kind of found another case that I enjoy. So right off the bat, it shows you that I do actually enjoy this case, which is of course a good thing, because it's honestly kind of hard for a case to compete with Urban Armor Gear, in my opinion, just because I really, really love their cases. But as you can see here, the kind of first thing we see here is the RhinoShield logo that's engraved into the case. It's not like printed on or anything like that, so it won't roll off. It is just kind of engraved into the case, and it's also minimalistic because it's not like a white or anything like that. It is pretty nice to see this just kind of minimalistic RhinoShield logo on the bottom there. And then yeah, my main problem when I first put this case on my phone was how the buttons felt. They are much harder to push than like the iPhone's button, and much harder to push than Urban Armor Gear case's buttons. Unfortunately, I will probably be comparing this case to an Urban Armor Gear case of bunches, because that's the only other case I've had on my phone for an extended period of time. So the buttons are much kind of mushier. However, I quickly got used to it, which surprised me. Like, I almost took it off right away just because of how mushy the buttons were. However, after about like 3 days of using it, I definitely got very used to pushing the buttons, and I have no problem with pushing it now. If I were to take the case off of my phone and push the buttons on the stock iPhone a little bit, I would definitely kind of get annoyed with this button again. But after you're kind of used to it, it's really not that bad to require a little extra force to push the button. That is the same for the volume rocker. We do have a little plus and minus. So if you are trying to use the volume rocker when you are not able to see your phone or something like that, you do have a little plus and minus to kind of tell you which button is which. We do have a pretty good cutout for the mute switch. It's a little hard to access. Like, it's not too bad. However, all the kind of cutouts are a little small, as I've noticed, but this little mute switch is not too bad. I mean, I personally don't mute my phone very often, so I haven't really had no problem with it. But if you are somebody that mutes your phone very frequently, you might have a problem, because it's a kind of a tight cutout there. The bottom of the case here is where I've had the most problems, specifically with the charging port. I don't know if you can see here, but the kind of cutout for the charging port is pretty slim. That's just because it is a fairly small cutout, so if you try to put something other than like the stock lightning cable, there's a decent chance it's not going to fit. If you kind of look at your charger and compare it to the stock lightning cable, the stock lightning cable does fit very well. However, really anything bigger than that, it can kind of fit, but it's like just a loose connection, so you'll find yourself kind of disconnecting from the cable frequently. So definitely kind of look at your charger before getting this case, because you will be pretty annoyed if you aren't able to charge your phone when it is in the case, because you will have to take it in and out of the case, or I guess just use the stock lightning cable. I've also had some problems with headphones, not as many because I mostly use Apple earpods. However, I use, like I said, a fair amount of third-party lightning cables, and so I've found several of them don't actually fit, which is annoying. However, the headphone jack isn't nearly as bad. If you have a larger kind of headphone cable, then you might have some problems with it, but for the most part, I haven't had any problems with it. I've even used like some L ones, and I have haven't really any problems with that. So you should be okay with the headphone jack. I would just be very wary of the lightning port, because this is one of the first cases I found that I've actually had quite a few problems with kind of plugging in the charging cable and things like that, which is a little bit annoying, because if you are wanting to use something other than the stock lightning cable, you will have to probably take the phone out of the case in order to do that. So a little bit annoying. However, that hasn't made me stop using the case yet, so it really can't be that big of a deal. I've kind of had to resort to using Apple's lightning cables, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's actually probably better for my phone. So yeah, I really do like the color of this case as well. I'm not sure if it comes in different colors. It probably does, but this is kind of a navy blue and lighter blue, and I do like the color of this very much. So if you don't like the color, however, I believe you can get different colors, so that is cool. And definitely my favorite thing about this bumper case is the kind of screen protector that comes included with it, which is kind of funny because it's not technically the case. But my biggest problem with bumper cases is the fact that the back of my phone is totally exposed for scratches and things like that. I never have a problem with the face of my phone because I have a screen protector on all the time. However, with this back, when I use bumper cases, I'm just always kind of worried that I'm gonna like put my phone in my pocket with my keys or something like that, and then it's gonna go ahead and get a very nasty scratch on the back of my phone. However, since I have this nice little screen protector on, it's fairly heavy duty. It's not glass or anything like that, but I do have this screen protector on that came with the RhinoShield Crashguard, and because of that, I'm just have a much better like peace of mind that my phone's not gonna get scratched, or I'm not gonna have any problems with like scuffs or anything like that, just because of the little screen protector on the back of my phone. It doesn't, you can't really see the screen protector either, which is nice because it protects your phone without actually like detracting from the look or anything like that, because of course you can see the beautiful back of the iPhone here, and because the screen protector is clear, it doesn't really take away from the look of that at all or anything like that. It just provides protection without being super visible or annoying, which I think is very good. I honestly do like the feel of it as well. It kind of feels matte, but of course it's not matte, so it's not like super glossy or cheap feel or anything like that. It definitely feels like a very high quality screen protector. It's just for the back of your phone. So while it is nice that they include the back screen protector from your phone, you technically wouldn't even need it with this case. And I mean, I guess my main problem with it is, like I said, like keys or something like that, because something that can kind of go directly to a point rather than like if you put this on a table or something like that, you won't scratch the back of your phone just because the case comes down further than the back of your phone. But if you were to put it on like a key or something like that, that would of course go up, which is the reason I enjoy having back screen protectors. But we do have this nice lay on the table design on both the back and the front of our phone here. So as you can see here, even if we have a fairly thick glass screen protector on, the face of our phone does not touch the table when we put the phone down because of the case. The case comes up further than the screen does, so you won't have any problems scratching your phone laying it on its back or its front when you're laying on a table, which is a very nice thing. The case is also pretty lightweight. A big part of it is probably the fact that there's no back to it, so it is just the bumper around there. So it is a pretty lightweight case, and so you do just kind of feel like it's almost like the regular iPhone because of the look. You do just kind of have a simple dark bumper around it, and which provides a great deal of protection, which is kind of surprising because it looks a lot like the regular iPhone. It just is a lot more protected, which is nice. So I'm probably going to be using this case for quite a bit longer. I have used quite a few bumper cases being a reviewer on YouTube and Amazon, and definitely out of all the ones I've used, this is my favorite one. So I would recommend checking this case out if you're interested in nice bumper cases. It's a little bit expensive. I think it's like $25 for a simple piece of rubber that goes around your phone, but I think it's worth it, especially with the back screen protector and all of that. So it's probably the best protected bumper case, and it just feels nice and all that. Like I said, my only problem with it is the lightning port. It's not that big of a deal if you use stock lightning cables, but if you use any other cable, I would be worried that the cable might not actually fit with the case. So that's my only problem with it. Other than that, you should be kind of good to go with this case. If you use an Apple lightning cable, you won't have any problems, and so all of that is good. But yeah, anyway, if you guys are still here, thank you guys very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then a like rating is always appreciated. You can of course purchase this case with the link in the description. The link to all the products I review are always down there, so if you're interested in checking it out, you can go ahead and do so. If you'd like to see more videos similar to this one, then feel free to subscribe. And yeah, anyway, this has been Jordan for Joe Reviews. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.